about what therapy is and how you get into it, but the next question that you're faced with is, what's the right type of therapy for me? So today we're going to look at the different types of therapy that you could go into. Individual counselling is where you come on your own, so it's just you and the therapist. It's personal to you, it's about you, it's not about other people in the sense that we cannot change somebody who's not in the room. So this is about you, how you are feeling, how things are impacting on you. Couples counselling is designed to try and look at problems within the relationship. So it's not about fixing one or other of you. It is about the part where the two of you overlap. So you have individual one, you have individual two, and relationship counselling looks at that part in the middle, the part where the two of you overlap. So it looks at your communication difficulties, how your attachment styles interact with each other. So it's very different from individual counselling, and you need to seek a therapist who is qualified to work with couples. Family therapy, which is also known as systemic therapy, is looking at family dynamics. So it's similar to couples counselling in that it's looking at how all of you interact, how you all overlap with each other, and it's looking at the family dynamics, so how each of you impacts on the others. So again, you would need a specialist counsellor for this type of work. And then group therapy is a group of individuals who share a common problem. So for example, you might find an anxiety group. So there are individuals, there are people who are there on their own, but they're a collection of individuals who all share the same common problem. And then there's the model of therapy that you need to choose. So you may have seen when you're trying to find a therapist that some therapists say that they work in an integrative way, or from a humanistic model, or from a psychodynamic model, or your GP might have told you to go and get CBT. So what does all that mean? So CBT is cognitive behavioural therapy. So cognitive, we're looking at thoughts, behavioural, our behaviours. So we're looking at how thoughts impact behaviours, impact feelings, and we go round and round. So this is focusing more on the present and the future. It's less concerned with the past, less concerned with why we feel the way that we do, but essentially it's trying to change the way that we think and behave in certain situations in order to change the way that we feel. So CBT tends to be more structured, it tends to be more time limited, and you may get tasks to do between sessions at home. So CBT is looking at how your thoughts and your behaviours impact on the way that you're feeling. Humanistic covers a wide range of counselling models, and you might also see this described as person-centred. So essentially this is looking at self-development, self-growth, how you perceive yourself, with a pull towards achieving your full potential. So your therapist will be trying to understand you through your frame of reference. This is all really focused on you, your perceptions, what you want, and trying to achieve your full potential. Psychodynamic or psychoanalytic theories look more at our unconscious thoughts and patterns and processes. So how those have developed across our lives and how they're impacting on the way that we think, feel, behave now. So it's looking more into the past, what has happened for us, the impact that that's had on us, and how we are then unconsciously playing out some of those things in our present. So it's unpicking and it's processing in order to change the way that we think, feel, and do things now. Integrative therapy is where a therapist has been trained in the major models of counselling and then fits those together in a way that works for the client. So it's different from being eclectic. You don't just bolt things on, but this therapist will draw together the main models and fit those for the client. So rather than fitting the client into the model, they fit the model around the client. So this is acknowledging that everybody is different and everybody will need something different from their therapist. So it's drawing together those different ideas and fitting them in a way that works for that person. And And there are lots of different models of counselling. You may see on somebody's page that they've listed that they work in a transactional analysis way or a gestalt way. So there are lots of different ways of working, and you can look up what any of these things mean, but they are kind of the main models that a lot of those sub-models fit into. So the last thing to think about is just whether you, as the client, would like to work in a time-limited way or an open-ended way. So time-limited is where you have a set number of sessions. So that might be 6 sessions, it might be 12 sessions, it might be for a few months, but there is a definite end point and you know when that is going to be at the beginning. So that can help to give people some structure, but also if you're just starting to get into something or you're not quite feeling where you would want to be when you finish your therapy, it can also be quite restrictive. An open-ended way is basically you have as many sessions as you need. So you could choose to have just 6 sessions, or you could choose to be in therapy for several months or years if you feel like that's needed. So open-ended just gives you that bit of flexibility to work with your therapist until you both feel that it's an appropriate time to end.